Hello, hello. Welcome to today's podcast. This is part 3 of a series that I didn't intentionally plan on starting. What the best part about this Reclamation Room podcast, right? I have to call it a podcast because it's on a podcast platform, right? is I get to bring a verbally processing moment to you that's welcomed, it's received. I get to bring you the awarenesses that I'm having in real time, right? I get to bring to you tips. I get to bring something you get to implement, which, by the way, if you've been in my space for a while, or maybe you just started listening, which is a huge thank you and a huge welcome to the show. Thank you. Welcome to my studio, right? Welcome in. And I'm bringing to you in like real time things that I am like working through and finding that is totally like a game changer. About 3 days ago, I did what I call the best thing ever since like sourdough bread was invented. Now, this is just like one of the best things this year, like because we're already almost at the end of the first month of the year. So how cool is it that I made a very small investment? I hired an amazing mentor, and all of a sudden, I am now being walked through steps to clear a path for my life, and it's already started. So, guess what that means for you? Yes. So, let's dive in. Today is part 3 of the Clearing the Crap and the Clutter series. And I'm going to tell you something. When we are in the building phase, when we are building our foundations, AKA our life, when we're creating our visions, when we are building that thing, whether it's a business or a legacy, a family, maybe you're building a health movement for yourself, which I hope you are, right? Because health is important. What I mean by health is not stuffing your body with supplements and caffeine. No, you're going to wreck your kidneys. What I mean by health is like intentional with conversations, who you allow around you. Yeah, that matters. Your circle, health, sleep, prioritizing sleep. Where are my high performers, business owners, right? Who do not prioritize sleep. I'm talking to you today. And if you don't own a business and you're here, welcome. Maybe you are in a career. Maybe you have a job, like a regular 9 to 5, right? Or maybe you are whatever, maybe you're doing something else in your life. Maybe you're in the armed forces. Thank you for your service, by the way. If you're in the Army, the Navy, the Marines, I'm so sorry, the other things that I can't, the Navy, think of at the moment. But if you're in the Navy SEALs, right? So if you are, maybe you are a firefighter or a paramedic. Maybe you're a doctor. Maybe you're a nurse. We're all building something for our lives. But if we aren't taking time to clear the crap and clear the clutter, it can take a toll on our health, our mindset, our mental toughness, our how we bounce back. It has everything to do with our energy, what we put forth. By the way, do you want to know the energy that you lead with is an indicator on whether or not you are focusing on the crap pile that has been piling up as you're building. Crap pile, and I'm not just talking about physical trash. Like I can definitely post pictures about a dump, right? or a trash can, right? Trash heap, ugly yards that people just don't take care of and pile up all the trash. I can even find pictures of people that, they're called hoarders. There's too much stuff and they literally box themselves in with stuff. And then it's like there's no peace, there's chaos. Internal chaos is what people are carrying with, but what people want, what people desire is to get out of the land of overwhelm and overthinking. That's what people want. but they don't, but we always, but we might not know how to get out of that. So that's where you hire a person. I'm not kidding. A therapist, a coach, a mentor, get in a mastermind, get in a community of people, which, by the way, that Vision Espresso that I keep talking about, in that link, I believe it will show you where you can be a part of an amazing community that's thriving. A community, I'm going to go here for a second. So as a professional hype girl slash community manager, okay, what I do is I go into business owners' spaces that they are building, communities, and they hire me to be the light, to be the voice, to be the mirror in the most positive way without fluff. I don't believe in fluff. If I ever start fluffing people up, it means I've gone in an opposite direction that will cause me to be fake. So I've learned to accept who I am and how I am and present that in a way that people listen to. Obviously, my podcast, by the way, started out with me believing that my voice wasn't powerful enough. Would you believe that within the last 4 days, my podcast jumped from 682 new listeners, new downloads? Okay. Now I'm at 724. How on earth does that happen? Because I have a belief now that when I speak, people listen. I have a belief that I am the number one professional hype girl slash community manager slash podcaster, reclamation room agent in the nation. And guess what? That is how I'm showing up. But behind the scenes, I too have to, clear the crap. I too have to hire the people. I don't have to, but it's a desire of mine. Why? Because I cannot show up the way that I do in my life anywhere, whether it's in business or job. I currently have a 9 to 5. Well, if you work in the medical field and you work at a hospital like I do, there's no such thing as 9 to 5. Even if you work, maybe you work in the administrative office, whatever you work in, maybe you are there 9 to 5, whatever. I do not have a normal job. Okay. So yes, I have over 3 decades, actually more than that, in the medical field, and my career has, and my story of growing up in foster care is how I am able to do what I do as a community manager and professional hype girl. Yes, but I do it without fluff. I don't bring fluff. I believe fluff is fake. And if I'm around people that bring fluff, I can tell in a heartbeat. So, I am building something phenomenal. Now, maybe you're somebody that's building something absolutely phenomenal. And maybe, just maybe, you're realizing that you're waking up every day and maybe your focus has been on the wrong thing. So your energy level is like supercharged in the most negative fashion. You remember how I was just saying how the energy that we lead with matters. I can tell when people are leading with a supercharged energy that's causing them to stay in complaint mode, negativity. They hate what they're doing, which means it spills over to probably hating their lives. And all they do is complain and they sound pissed. They sound angry, but it's because they're focusing on the wrong thing. What we focus on is going to grow. No joke. What we focus on is going to be what leads the show. We can focus on the shit pile, the crap, the clutter, focus on the garbage. Sit there and stare at it, talk about it. It's going to expand because we will start magnetizing more of that. Think about that. I'm going to go here for a second. Okay, I'm going to share something that might be activating, aka triggering. Put your hand on your heart. I'm going to talk to you for a moment. There are people that call themselves empaths. Now, I'm going to say something. If you were to do your research, which I hope that you do, don't just take my word for it. Go look it up yourself because then you're going to see what an empath actually is. It's a shit magnet. It's someone that sits there and magnetizes the shit from everybody around them, and they think it's normal. They think it's okay. I used to think I was an empath until I realized that I don't want to deal with people's shit. Take your shitty attitude and leave. Leave your attitude at the car. Don't bring it with you into this environment. I don't care who you are, right? I don't want to eh, I don't want to absorb negativity. I don't even want to absorb complaining or gossip. I don't want to absorb bashing, disrespect, gossip. Oh no. I don't want to absorb other people's trauma. No, thank you. Mm-mm. I have worked too hard to be able to repel the shit. But in my own life, I was unknowingly collecting garbage. I was unknowingly magnetizing shit. Literally, in my garden, in my beautiful plot of land. In the very first podcast that I did, it's part one of this. Go back and listen to it, and then come back and find me on my socials and tell me what you liked about it. Or please start commenting on my podcast so I can come back in and connect with you and have a conversation. I was collecting garbage. I was magnetizing stuff, and I was I was unknowingly allowing myself to stay focused on negative energy of things that were happening, but I also didn't realize that I was in resentment. I had a lot of resentment, and I didn't even notice. I didn't even know it. But thankfully, the person that I've hired turned a light on for me. Well, Tiffany, why do I have to hire somebody? Why do I have to? You don't have to, but I'm telling you, when you invest in yourself, it is the most beautiful thing ever, because the cost you're paying to stay stuck on the crap pile, it actually will rear its ugly head in the form of health problems. Oh yeah. What you feed, I also said this in the first podcast. Go listen. So the first part of this series, what you feed will flourish and what you neglect will die. What you focus on will grow the most. So what do you want to be focused on? The shit? Do you want that to be continuously magnetized? By the way, the more that you focus on the crap, guess what? That's all you're going to see. No joke. Focus on the crap that people are giving you and how crappy they are, and how they're, whatever they're doing to you to cause you to sit in an energy that's not fun. I've been there. Talking about it with no solutions in sight, with no implementing new ways of doing things, guess what's going to happen? That's all you're going to see about that person. That's all we're going to see about people. Now, what this does not mean is to sit there and allow people to treat you like garbage. No, no, no. This does not mean that. It means you need to set some boundaries. By the way, boundaries is the confidence inducing, energizing enhancer that preserves and protects your peace and helps you to notice when you are magnetizing the shit immediately. And it allows you to notice things faster. And then, like when your energy is getting depleted from people or conversations or something, you're going to set some boundaries. And it can sound something like this. Hey, this is what I'm available for, and this is what I'm not available for. Let's find a way to change how we're speaking, or change the conversation. I did that. I did that very recently. And I'm okay with doing that. Why? Because I've learned that I'm safe to set boundaries, because my boundaries matter. I matter. My peace and my energy is absolutely sacred AF. So I'm going to treat it as such. And I'm going to treat myself as the queen that I am. And I'm going to set the tone, set what I expect, set the boundaries in friendships, relationships, because I'm not available for shit. I'm not available for crap. I'm not available for any conversation that drains me, period, whatsoever. Mm-mm. Surface level conversations drain me. Complaining conversations drain me. Talking about just the weather and how much we hate our jobs drains me. How much our marriages suck drains me. I won't, complaining about the politics, good grief, don't get me started on that. Complaining about what's going on in the world, complaining how broke people are, complaining. It's very freaking draining. That's a rhyme. Complaining is very freaking draining. Could put that to new hashtag. Complaining is freaking draining. Like, please. But I'm also not speaking on a higher level. I've been there. I'm speaking from an experience of things that I have learned, moved from, healed from. Do I get it right all the time? No. Do I set boundaries right away? No. I recently got caught up in I'm going to sip my coffee, be right back. I recently got caught up in a conversation that I didn't ask for, that I realized I noticed the energy that immediately happened, but I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And I realized that I was giving more output and I felt more drained and I couldn't figure out why until I went to ChatGPT and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it's like, aha, this is why. So then it gave me some tips on how to set some boundaries because I am not available for anything that drains me and causes me to go into coach it or fix it mode. If I have to go into fix it energy with someone, I'm already done. Like I will set the tone and I'll walk away. I'll leave the ball in the other person's court, but they don't get to drain me with their energy. Period. I've worked too hard. And it doesn't mean I'm better than anyone. It's just like, hey, I've worked really hard to preserve my peace. I've worked really hard to get there. So now, even as friends, like, we got to be careful too so we don't cross the line. Friends, birds of a feather flock together, right? So guess what? You're going to magnetize if you have friends that just focus on the shit, focus on the clutter, focus on the crap pile. It's just going to magnetize more of that. More of the conversations that drain the energy. Then the input that we're getting is crap. That's the output we're going to give. But I yesterday within 24 hours, I had to realize, Tiffany, you are putting out more energy. You are giving too much energy. You're overgiving. You're trying to fix. You're trying to coach. You can't do that. Back it up. This is where boundaries come in. My energy is back today. It was drained. Why? Because I also, you ready? True facts, true story. I used to magnetize friends that would only come to me for what I could give them. Oh yeah, because I didn't know about boundaries. So that's crap. That's clutter. I have had to heal from harboring resentment from even towards myself, because I didn't know what I know today. There's nothing wrong with not knowing things. But now that you know, right? Now that you now get to decide how and when you're going to set the tone and set boundaries. And it's okay. By the way, if people get mad at you and they decide to leave your life when you set boundaries with them, like I have had people who I thought were friends, let the crap go. The to be I know this might sound harsh, but it's not. The trash will always take itself out. I have had friends that have honestly gone into victim mode and mistreated me and disrespected me, dishonored me for setting boundaries. I had tough conversations. I didn't end the friendship, but then the friendship was abruptly ended because of how the person received what I said. I wasn't rude. I didn't have a rude tone. But there comes a point where, as a friend, I have to have we got to have tough conversations. We have to be okay with having tough conversations with people because it's a sign of growth. When the crap gets cleared, we can move forward. I just got goosebumps. I got like, if I was on a stage, like if you could see my face, I've got the smile because I have a deep certainty. I've got a deep knowing. Something has happened collectively behind the scenes in my life within the last 3 days. What is that? 72 hours. And I'm like 30 minutes away from the actual 72 hours. Okay. Since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. Okay. So it's amazing as to what shifts take place when you clear the crap. I have moved forward. My this place, my stage, my tables, my studio. Welcome. By the way, the vision that I have is to create a place where people come and of course pay, right? But a studio, like a place that people can come. I'm being the professional hype girl, the community manager, but I'm not a manager where you hire me to supervise people. I'm not there to supervise people. I'm not that kind of a manager. I'm there as the uplifter, the voice that anchors people in, reminds people who they are, puts their vision back in front of them. Even the leaders say, hey, you're leading this space. Don't forget why you created it. Don't forget why you started. And by the way, I'm not putting on a show for you. This is how I operate in real life, and you're hearing it in real time. I will remind leaders, hey, thank you so much for creating this space. You have no idea the impact you're having on people. Who do you have in your life that's telling you that? By the way, I have a track record. I'm I'm sharing this with you because when you start realizing how far you've come, you will stop hiding. You will stop not acknowledging yourself. But also, I don't have to acknowledge myself per se because you know the scriptures that say your gifts will make room for you, right? What you what is it? What you do in secret will be made public. I know that can have a bad connotation, a negative connotation as well. I have been doing a lot of hard work behind the scenes. And I'm so proud of how far I've come. I'm so freaking proud of me because I almost quit my podcast. I didn't believe I was good enough. I didn't believe that my voice was powerful enough, but I have a track, I have proof. And I'm now in a receiving state. I'm still building, I'm still clearing the shit, still doing all that stuff, still doing the hard work, okay? But now I don't have to push, I don't have to prove, I don't have to perform. Now, the other cool thing is that the acknowledgments, and I feel seen. I really feel seen. I have people like family coming in my inbox telling me, hey, I listened to your my first podcast of Clearing the Crap. My amazing nephew came in my inbox and's like, hey, he's my favorite nephew, one of my favorite nephews. I love him. He's absolutely so cool. I remember he was born right after I graduated high school, like literally a few days, maybe a couple weeks. And so I remember having a blast being around him because he was my first like biological nephew. And so I absolutely had a freaking blast being his cool aunt. Okay. And so you have no idea the impact you make when you clear the own crap in your life and you start talking about it. You start doing things that isn't normal in quotations, right? So behind the scenes, I have been building, I have been crap clearing, I have been healing. So what happens when we start doing that is we move forward. We can't, there is no way that when you start doing the things that I'm telling you to do, or no, not telling you to do. I'm not telling you what to do. You get to decide for yourself. Okay. When you start doing the things that I am talking about, you start implementing, you start doing the work, you start clearing the shit, the pile, the crap, the garbage. Underneath, you're going to find the most beautiful, lush garden you have ever seen in your life. And that is the results. That is the fruit. Those are the seeds you've planted and that have been buried. You're not meant to stay buried. Your hard work It's going to bloom, it's going to blossom, it's going to grow, but it's the trash. This is what I was informed, and so I'm bringing it to you. The trash is the thing. It's like it's what hides the seeds, but it's the starting point. It's what gets you to where you're going to go. So, for example, for me, the trash was circumstances and experiences and foster care and all the things which actually created the most beautiful garden. Trauma didn't stop me. It's tried. Trauma didn't make me a victim. It's tried, but I'm not. Foster care almost buried me. By the way, that's a statistic. Statistics of foster care is traffic, drug and alcohol addiction, depression, trafficked. I know I probably said that. Exploited in ways that no kid should ever be exploited. I was exploited for money, not in a not in a sexual trafficking manner. Exploited for money. People who did foster care who should be thrown in prison took me in just for the cash, and it showed because they were very abusive. Yeah. So that was meant to bury me. Foster care. I don't know how I made it through. I know by the grace of God, I'm still here. Thank God. Someone was praying. God was looking out for me. Thank God. Because that is what created my garden. But I almost got buried. People did try to take me out. They did in other group homes, but that didn't stop me. And my voice, I thought, was trash because of what I was told. But now look, all the trash that was in my garden has been cleared so that I can do what I'm doing now, is speaking to you, speaking, talking, all things. When you remove the trash and the clutter, you are able to move forward in your life. You're able to start looking at circumstances and experience that's happening to you, not like you're a victim. You start getting your energy back. My energy has returned. Even though I'm healing from a viral infection and physically speaking, there are days where my energy level is low, okay, because I'm healing. My body's physically healing. But that energy clearing, that crap garbage clearing sesh that I had on Thursday, 72 hours ago, I kid you not, my body was unlocked. The energy, I have energy. It's a healing energy. It's what happens when forgiveness comes in. Resentment and bitterness can take root and choke us. That's what the crap does. It chokes our garden. It chokes us, chokes the very vibrant, powerful people that we are, chokes our gifts, chokes our vision. We don't have clarity when all we're focused on is the crap pile. That's it. We can't move forward. Y'all, my podcast, how in the heck? I don't know the numbers. What is that? 60 downloads? 682. Is that 40 to 724? Well, anyway, you do the math. I'm just going to do the math online. I'm going to Google. Okay. So I'm going to do 82. No. Hold on. 724 minus 682. Whoops. 4 minus 600. All right, we got this. Okay, ready? 42. 42 downloads within the last few days. New listeners, new followers, new people who are liking the show, which, by the way, when you listen to my show, click the follow button. Don't just come back and be on the sidelines. Interact, be a part. You're invited. I'm inviting you. I created my own table because I believed that there were people that I would get to speak and they would listen. By the way, I'm going to share something powerful with you. You know how they say how there's a scripture that says your gifts make room for you. Pay attention. When you clear the crap and you clear the clutter, you're able to see clearly. You're able to focus clearly. You're able to show up in a way that's powerful. Since clearing the crap on Thursday, 3 days ago at noon, okay? No joke. My energy level returned. My confidence level returned. Since Thursday, guess what? I have been in the spaces of people, physically and online, where I have met new people And I have been able to share what I do with confidence, more confidence than I have ever felt before in my life, more energy. And when I speak, people are listening with an intention. They're maintaining eye contact. They're weighing on every word. Why? Because I have been working hard to perfect my craft and also get rid of the crap. I've been moving forward. I am in the spaces of business owners who are like millionaires, probably billionaires, but I don't know because they haven't shared with me their, endless zeros, right? But they are business owners with a vision. It's a community of people that I met in person on Thursday, sharing what I do, people looking me up as I'm talking to them. I'm not sharing this with you to brag. I'm sharing this with you because this is what happens when you clear the shit. Your health starts becoming more vibrant. Your confidence returns. Your energy level returns. You become like better. And it's nothing to hide. You can't hide. Good luck. I tried to hide. Good luck. But when you meet people and you start connecting with people who are great connectors, and also people who literally God will connect you with people who can open doors for you that you never could imagine. There's a scripture, Ephesians 3:20, go look it up. I'm going to look it up right here. I didn't even plan on saying this. And yes, this is a little bit long, but you get the drift. You get what I'm saying, right? I hope you have, because I can't go back and repeat the things. Here it is, Ephesians 3:20, and to him, which is God, capital H, who is able to do exceedingly above what we ask or think according to the power that is working in us. Think about that. Also, in Revelations, it says that there's this other scripture that that God like opens doors that no man can shut. He can also close doors that no man can open. So think about that for a moment. Think about that for a moment. See, I have set before you an open door, and no one is able to shut it, that you have little power, yet have guarded my word and have not denied my name. And the first part of that says, I know your works. Well, this isn't a Bible study. I am a firm believer that I would not get here in my life without having a relationship with God. That's what I believe. I'm not going to shove it down. I'm not going to shove God down your throat, but I will share him with you. And I will share with you that the day that I was born was a testament that God can take people who were almost knocked off the face of this planet. Since birth, I have almost been taken off the face of this planet because I almost died because I was informed from my birth mom that I had seizures because of high fevers from ear infections when I was a baby. So if I could be kept and preserved, even though I was put through a lot, like how does a person from foster care from before she was one because her parents chose alcohol as their main vice of living, how do you explain having a life, being able to lead people to go on to do great things? How do you explain people hiring me to help them rewrite their resumes and have a track record of 100% results? 100% track record. 6 out of the 6 clients that came to me. How do you explain that? How do you explain the clients that have gone on to do amazing things with their lives because they've gotten rid of overwhelm, overthinking, put themselves first, remembered who the heck they are, started getting back their confidence and energy by setting boundaries with friends, right? They never did that before. And now they're thriving as a business owner. One of them is my last client. She's a realtor. She's got a house selling business. She is freaking successful. She's a mom. She stated she got her return on investment in the first month of hiring me as her professional hype girl. That's a track record that I have, but how do you explain that? I can't explain that to anybody, but I can tell you this, and then I'm going to close with this. Every time you clear the crap, you are one step closer to moving forward in your life. Every time you clear the shit, every time you clear the trash, you're one step closer to more clarity, less fog, less overwhelm. You have more clarity to what your vision is for your life. Because if you don't have a vision, I'm going to tell you, you are going to be wandering aimlessly on this earth. And right now, it's very evident if you look around, just turn on Twitter, go on X. That's where I get my news from. Okay. Do the research, please. Don't be one of those biased, boxed in thinkers who just post your feelings and emotions about politics and what's going on in the world. That shows me that people aren't researching. Yes, I did say that. Okay. Go research for yourself. Please do. So that way you can be an out of the box thinker, multidimensional instead of one dimensional. I've learned that in my stocks class. Thank God. Go out there. So when you start clearing the crap, you're going to do amazing things. You're going to be less led by low energy. You're going to be led by energy. You're going to start making decisions that move you towards your vision and your dreams. But if you don't have a vision, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be lost in a sea of people. Don't do that. Don't be here on earth. And then by the time you get to on your deathbed, with the last thing to say is, I wish I could go back because now your time is gone. Make the most of the time that you have today. Start clearing the crap. Then go do something that you wanted to do, your gift. Put your gift to use. Go after your dreams. Go after your vision. Keep clearing the crap. I promise you, you are going to do great things with the more crap that you clear, because now your garden is going to thrive. Those seeds are going to flourish. Everything is going to start. The fruit is going to start showing, and it's not going to show under all the trash. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you. I'm cheering you on. I celebrate you.